There we go.
Woohoo! All right, we're live.
Hey.
Aloha, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Mermaid Nina here with a very familiar cast of crew of crazy Disney channels next to me. As we mentioned in the last live, we will be planning Disney vacations live with everyone who wants to watch and join us. So please, if you have a vacation coming up or you just have some questions, we've got the proper cast of crazy people here to answer those questions for you. Nick, you want to do some quick introductions or whatever it is you want to do?
Absolutely. Well, what's up, everybody? It's Nick from Who Dat Travel. Now, I am Mermaid Nina's normal co-host, and we also have, there we go. Someday I will get that right. We've got Bridget as well. For those of you who have tuned in before, you'll already hear this spiel, so we'll try to keep it quick. But I am a travel channel from the Midwest. So when we are planning these Disney trips, we do have to fly. And actually, I say we as in my family, but also Mermaid Nina is also from the Midwest. So we have to fly in and do all of those types of things, where Bridget is a local. So she has been in the parks recently, as in probably the yesterday. So she has those abilities. So when we're talking about being able to plan these things, we all have different takes on it. Mermaid Nina has some older children in their just before preteens. I have a toddler who is 17 months old. And Bridget is that local that has no kids. So there's a little jealousy in some of all of that, but we'll get into that. So we are able to answer all sorts of questions, and we all have been there since reopening multiple times. So, and most of us have some plans on going back here soon too. So, so if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. We're also planning on tonight talking about some of the quick service, the quick service restaurants that are available, because, well, not all of them are available right now. So it can make some meal planning difficult. And there's Mickey up there. You know what? I think all of us have a Mickey, because we do have to talk about something very quickly. It is somebody's birthday. This guy, the main mouse, it is his birthday. So very special happy birthday to Mickey.
And Minnie.
And Minnie, actually, technically, yes.
Yeah, forget about Minnie.
Both of their birthdays. So yay.
Yay.
So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mickey. Happy birthday, Minnie.
So talking about all of that, going into... Hey, Charlie, excellent. I am glad that you got a Indiana Mickey.
He's been wanting that. His mom's been texting me on the side.
Actually, the last time I was there, we walked by where we bought it at, and I kind of went, oh, no, it's closed. So, Charlie, I am happy that you got to find one. That is awesome. And
Charlie was Indiana Jones for Halloween.
Yes. Oh. Awesome.
Good choice, Charlie. Good choice.
Yeah, one of my favorite Mickeys, because I do have a few Mickeys. So, but absolutely. Well, I should say, I say one of my favorite, but it's really my son's favorite because it gets stolen by him. So it happens. So, with talking about our different quick services that are open, we also have a little bit of different stuff there too. I'm a meatitarian. I love all of that. Nina, however, is a vegan that has some allergies as well. So she
24.
So you eat water and ice? Is that about it then?
And lettuce and chocolate chips.
Oh, well, there we go.
And Dole Whip, right?
And Dole
Whips.
That's me.
Lots of Dole Whips and Mickey pretzels.
The answer is always Dole Whip. So, and then Bridget, I'm not sure. Do you have any food allergies, or
I don't really have food allergies. I don't eat a lot of ground beef, so you won't see burgers on my channel really. But that's about it.
All right. So, and I hate to call myself a foodie. I hate that word, but I love things that are out of the box. I'm not always the burger and fry and pizza guy. However, we do eat that when we're in. Awesome, Charlie.
I like it.
We do what we have to do when we're in the parks. And I am mainly a quick service person. I like my quick service because I can get in, I can get out, and I can eat quickly. And nowadays, as I'm sure everybody knows, this is your best friend, your cell phone. You have to be able to order for the most part, unless you have some allergies. Nina, you are ordering through your phone, through the My Disney Experience app. So that is an absolute must-have. But Nina can tell you how to do this if you have some allergies. So, Nina, why don't you talk a little bit about how you do things if you have allergies or if you need special things from the chefs?
Absolutely. So we're talking quick service this go around. Of course, if you guys have questions about table service, I'm always here for you. Let's see what Charlie's saying now. You got a porg at Disney Springs?
Porgs are so cute.
We love porgs. For a quick service, even if you just have one allergy, it's kind of difficult because I think in most situations, if you are an EpiPen allergy, you just feel more comfortable talking to a chef, talking to a manager, kind of seeing it written down on paper if your allergen is in X, Y, and Z item. So luckily for the quick service, you can kind of bypass that mobile ordering situation, find a cast member, and they will direct you to inside the restaurant where you can find a chef or a manager to help you proceed. But there were a few times, and you'll see it in my video, where I already knew the item I was ordering was already free of my allergens. So I just went ahead and mobile ordered. So you have that option as well. So it really just depends if you're trying out a new item, if you know an item already exists in the current state that's safe for you or not. But you have the option of still talking to the chef or the manager, which is nice because otherwise we would not be able to go.
I'm just going to have one thing on that for Nina, because I was at Disney yesterday and I looked into it. Also on the website, not so much on the app, but on the website, if you know you have a well-known allergen, such as shellfish or...
So you're saying you're being shellfish right now?
What?
I said you're being shellfish right now.
I am being shellfish. You can actually go to the website to the different quick services pages, and it'll show, like, at the bottom, it'll show allergies and then shellfish. It'll show you what you can eat and what it actually contains.
I will say that is a piece of crap.
Oh.
So for any of my clients, for those of you who don't know, I am a travel agent. I specialize in Disney vacations and food allergies. This is what I do. It is my full-time job, and I've been doing it for so many years, I've run out of fingers. That's right. The allergen menus usually pick out one or two items for one allergy alone. So it's okay if you're just allergic to gluten and the item that's listed is an item you're interested in. But if for some reason you wanted something else, not just the one that's listed, or you're allergic, like she said, shellfish and gluten, that allergen menu is not going to be good enough for you because it will only show you what's safe for one allergen.
Yep.
And oftentimes it's incorrect.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's not always updated.
I was at Hollywood Studios yesterday, and you would think black beans would be safe. They had bacon in them.
Yeah. So we are headed to Disney here soon for the holidays, my family. And Bridget has been on her own little foodie errand to try to find foods for my kids to eat. As we will get into, a lot of the quick service options are closed right now. They just aren't existing. And on top of that, which makes it worse for me, is a lot of our staple menu items that we have gotten used to ordering are no longer on the menu, which is making it hard for my particular family to eat. So Bridget took it upon herself to go to, in this case, ABC Commissionary. How do you say it? Commissary. And because she noticed black beans and rice were on the menu, and she can tell you the story, but let's just say they are not safe.
No. But they were super awesome, and they were because ABC Commissary is connected to Sci-Fi. They offered to even bring a chef over, and I was like, "Oh no! I don't have the allergy. I'm finding out for someone who does."
It's kind of like my little man, mac and cheese all the way through.
You can't go wrong with it.
I've heard this. A lot of people love the food at ABC.
I like it because it's not the typical food.
Right. It's
even right now. It's not cheeseburgers, hamburgers.
Yeah. And
it's
I guess
a little bit more unique.
We'll kind of lead into that a little bit. I guess that's my problem. Like Epcot is fantastic for me. I love eating at Epcot, eating around the world. And then Mermaid Nina does. See, I love it. I love it.
I love it. I just can't eat around the world.
Well, yeah, you can't really eat around the world so much as but even during the food and wine, my little man ate around the world. And it's a kind of a cool, fun thing, but I don't go hungry so much at Epcot by look at me. I don't go hungry often, but that's another story. But Magic Kingdom is right now is we'll call it issue for eating. Just because most of the places are burger and fry places or burger and pizza places to me.
Well,
do you think otherwise, Nina?
No, I agree with you to some extent. Magic Kingdom's the place I know we can go to, and that's because of Pecos Bills, which is not burger and fries. It is
correct. Now, I love Pecos Bill, but I have not been there since the reopening.
And I eat at Pecos Bill every time I go because it's not burgers and fries.
Well, and that's the thing. We've been avoiding it because we loved because it's supposedly not there, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't have the toppings bar.
Yes and no.
That's been gone for a while, but you can still say, I want extra lettuce, pickles, tomatoes, guac, whatever.
Okay.
Well, maybe not guac.
So when I went for Halloween, I went and got the Hades nachos, which was like a special thing. And literally all I got was the Hades nachos, and then my entire tray was filled with the toppings that would normally be on the topping bar.
Really?
Yeah.
I should have stopped there then. And those are the things that, I've been avoiding, and those are my mistakes. And, for all of you listening out there, we've all been out there a lot. What's my go-to burger out of all of the parks? Honestly, the one I loved the most, and I'm not even sure if it's available right now, was the Mickey Burger, which was at Magic Kingdom, but it came with I'm trying to remember. It had mac and cheese, like a mac and cheese, fried mac and cheese on it, even, and then had a Mickey stamped, burned into the top of the burger. It was.
Oh, I've seen that. That's cute.
It was honestly, it was a really good burger, but I'm trying to remember.
That one had bacon jam on it.
It may have.
I don't know. The one at Sci-Fi, I think, has the jam too. And then Cosmic Rays last Halloween had Lotso imprinted on their buns.
Okay.
Lotso from Toy Story. Because even though I don't eat meat personally, my husband does, so I'm very familiar.
That was actually at Epcot.
What, the Mickey Burger?
The Mickey Burger.
Where was it at Epcot?
Almost in one of the closed down restaurants.
My husband, I do believe one of his favorite burgers was at Ale and Compass.
Oh, I love Ale and Compass. I went there for breakfast before the closure. So good.
To answer outside of the park, actually, with Disney Spring, I did have. Where was that burger? Homecoming was.
I haven't been there yet.
Oh, go to Homecoming. It is, if you can make it to brunch, if you are a Southern food person, smothered in, home style gravy, that kind of stuff.
Smothered. I think that describes all soul food.
Pretty much.
Smothered.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was fantastic. We went in July because, we went and had brunch in July because we could get in. We were going to go for my birthday and end of October, but they were booked for brunch. And they have actually opened up a Saturday brunch too. So it's Saturday and Sunday, but they fill up very, very quickly for brunch. So, but their food is just, I had the fried chicken this last time and it was good, just Southern fried chicken. Kind of the kind your grandma used to make.
Trying to think where else my husband's had a really good burger. It was Sci-Fi. I think he liked Sci-Fi's burger as well.
Last time I ate at Sci-Fi, I was
favorite. Actually, I will take my last statement back for that Mickey burger. Actually, it was Brown Derby this last time. They have a Wagyu burger that was fantastic.
I don't like beef, but I would try Wagyu in a heartbeat.
Oh, it's a Wagyu burger. It was fantastic. My wife had the
Wagyu burger.
It's a type of Japanese beef.
It's a Japanese beef. They may actually be using American Wagyu, which is it depends. I'm not 100% sure if that was the Japanese Wagyu or the American Wagyu. Basically, it's a type of cow that is bred a very specific way that has a very high fat content woven in the muscle. In the story of all of the Wagyu or in Japan is they will actually give them beer, they give them massages, they can trace their lineage actually.
Now, is that Wagyu or is that Kobe?
Kobe is a type of Wagyu.
See, you know more about beef than I do.
I told you, I'm a foodie. I love.
No, you don't like that word.
I hate the word, but I am. I call a spade, I guess. But they had it was amazing. The burger, and I would definitely go back and have it again.
Well, there you go. Then.
My wife actually had said that she got the their famous chop salad. They're huge for knowing
beautiful chop salad.
Oh yeah, Brown Derby. Yeah, I've heard that.
And it was good. I had like 2 bites of it just to say, yeah, I've had it. But she went, yeah, I'll order that next time. So because I gave her a couple bites of mine. So and yeah, it's
of the Wagyu.
So yeah, the Wagyu burger. So Cruise Fan Will, that would be that. There you go. That would be my hands down. If you can snag one to Brown Derby, absolutely try it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are on that diet at Disney.
I haven't eaten at Garden Grill.
Yeah, I tried to get reservations for Garden Grill in October for me and my coworker, and they have been just booked up solid. I think they're one of those restaurants that's kind of booking out at the 60-day mark.
I think the reason for that is that you actually get some decent character interaction. Yeah. And you're down to half of capacity because they're seating that outer ring, but not the inner ring.
Oh, right.
So for those of you who don't know, Garden Grill is in Epcot in the Land Pavilion. And it's actually a rotating restaurant.
It's so cool.
Very, very slow. It's not like it's not like you're sitting eating in the teacups. It's a very slow rotation. But you actually get to see inside of the Living with the Land ride. But what they're doing right now is on the inner ring, the characters are coming through and interacting with the people that are in that outer ring. So they're kind of looking down on you. But it also, I've seen some really great character interactions that are people just eating and all of a sudden the characters like surprising them behind them. And it's really kind of a fun thing. So I think that's probably one of the reasons that is booking out, is it's one of the only characters that are close to you, I'll say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still looking. So I was a bad travel agent for my own trip and forgot it was my 60 days.
Isn't that usually how it happens, though?
Every time. So my clients, I have an alert. So it alerts me when it's their time, but I didn't set the alert for myself. So it wasn't until Disney emailed me and was like, hey, it's time to book your dining, which means it's too late. So Garden Grill was gone.
And that's the thing with me. I don't book out a lot. I'm kind of that fly by the seat of your pants guy.
Oh, we're not.
Yeah. And with a toddler, for us, that actually has worked really well because, when he's hungry, I can generally just pull up and go, okay, here. Or if we're thinking that he'll last until 7:00, just let's say, we'll then book like the Brown Derby. That's what we ended up doing, which at that point, I think we got a 6:50 reservation, and at that day, the park closed at 7. So, I mean, we got to stay a little bit longer in the park just because we had dinner, but it was, for us, that works really well. But you also have to know how your family works.
Right. So, you got to do what your family does. I tell people all the time, I say, if your kid needs a nap, if your kid is a napper, your kid has to nap in the crib, your kid has to nap in their bed, that's part of your planning process too.
Or your wife or your husband, whatever.
Anyone.
Boyfriend, girlfriend, anyone with you.
And the same thing with eating. Like my kids, because they're in school, they eat based on their school schedule. So when we go to the parks, it's usually, we took a week off of school. Their tummies are hungry at that same school time. So I can't push them to 1:00, assuming they're going to be fine for a lunch reservation, at least my kids. They're used to eating at 11:30. So at 11:30, that's when we eat.
Yeah, and that's something with my child is he's not on a schedule very well. He does when he is in daycare, but when any other time, he's really not on a schedule. It's if he's hungry, he asks for it type thing. So for us, we can give him a snack or two, and we can make it to that 1:00 reservation or that 7:00 reservation because he normally doesn't eat dinner early. But my child is also a night owl, so we don't get to the park at rope drop for the most part, because he still wants to sleep.
Oh, yeah. We're at rope drop. We're up at 6 a.m. We're ready to go. We're partying it up. By 2:00, we're like, should we
take a
break? Should we keep going? Should someone nap, someone film something, and someone go to the pool?
Well, and that's the thing is, if you know that about your family, the biggest thing about a vacation is do what's good for your family.
Right. So like we're over here giving you guys tips and advice every week, but in the end, I mean, you kind of have to do what works for your family. I get this from my clients all the time. My best friends, cousins, sister, brothers, whoever just got back from Disney and X, Y, and Z did this and told us we have to do that too. And I'm over here like, well, did your X, Y, and Z person have a toddler? Did your person have 2 teenagers? Did your person... Because it really does change. And, a part of someone's vacation might not be what your vacation needs.
Well, and I can sit here and say, Nina, you have to do the teacups. It's not a Disney ride with a Disney vacation without the teacups. I know that Nina gets pretty motion sickness just because I've hosted a fair amount of these with her. So I may love the teacups. It may be the best ride in the world to me. But for Nina, she may ruin her time because she's going to visit that trash can more than anything else because she's losing her lunch.
Nina's not making it to a trash can.
So they're going to have I believe that's called a code V, if I remember right.
Either that or a protein spill.
Or protein spill. All right, there's another one. Okay. Would that possibly be at the other park?
No, I think it's just depending on who you ask.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
But should we get back on quick service though?
Let's get back on quick service. So squirrel. Yeah, exactly. So for us, we talked a little bit about Magic Kingdom. For me right now, the one that I hit the most, besides I'll definitely try Pecos Bill again, we do the Pinocchios actually with their pizza. But for us, it's because, with your gluten allergy, is there a single thing that you can eat there, Nina?
They don't do gluten-free vegans. So my issue is my daughter, who's a gluten-free vegan.
Oh, so there's literally nothing she can eat there.
Well, they used to have a pizza that they would put dairy-free cheese on. That's fine. But then the crust was Udi's brand, which has egg.
Womp.
There's probably like a Caesar salad.
With anchovies.
Does Disney put anchovies in it?
All Caesar salad has anchovies, even if just at the dressing.
Oh.
Out of the California restaurant, which signature dinings may be best? Oh, between the two?
Yeah.
Well, you don't eat how I eat. My answer would be 100% Garden Grill, because Garden Grill has amazing.
You mean California Grill?
Menu. What?
California Grill?
That's what I meant.
Just
California Grill. I know what I'm talking about, I promise.
I'm here to help.
Grill at the Contemporary.
Wait, I just said Garden Grill is in the Land Pavilion. What are you talking about?
What about you guys? Have you eaten at both of these?
Never eaten that either.
I have not, actually. We were trying to get the California Grill for 4th of July, but not open. So
they're
open now.
Yeah, it is open now, but yeah, we were trying to go for the 4th, which, the whole park wasn't open. So
oh yeah.
Yeah, but we were scheduled and then just moved that trip down to the 11th when they were open. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been to both. They're both very good. They have different menus. Sometimes I suggest just to look at the menu, but I absolutely love California Grill. What, Charlie?
Where?
The caricatures at Art of Animation? I don't think they're doing that.
Or is it? He might have been saying the characters were out.
We're out at Garden Grill. Yeah.
So
back to quick service. Garden Grill. Yeah, the characters were out at Garden Grill. That's right, Charlie.
I think there's only 4 places where the characters are at dining right now, or going to
at Garden Grill. They are at Hollywood and Vine. They will be at Chef Mickey's here in a couple of weeks. And there's one at off property, or it's at a resort, and I can never say the name of it.
Four Seasons?
No, it's breakfast only at the Riviera.
Topolino Terrace.
Yeah, that thing. And then Cinderella shows up at Cinderella's Royal Table, but she is not listed. So if she doesn't show up for your meal.
Well, and Beast, I think, still shows up at Be Our Guest.
He's hit or miss as far as I've heard.
Yeah.
That's good to know, Charlie. I'm glad they were 6 feet.
But for quick service, we'll go back. We'll kind of go back to that. Magic Kingdom wise, so we've all kind of gone through. I enjoy the Pinocchio's one. Bridget's got Pecos Bill, and Nina, yours is probably favorite is Pecos Bill as well. Then, or what is your favorite that is open currently?
Yeah, it's Pecos Bill. It's because it's not a burger. So I purposely want a place that's not a burger. And Pecos Bill's gives us beans and rice, where you can put it on nachos. You can put it in a burrito. For us, we just eat beans and rice. We get a side of tortillas, a side of guac. We make our own concoction. We're plenty happy. I actually have a video that shows that. As I was telling Bridget, I'm actually disappointed, since if we take it park by park, my favorite is Pecos Bill's at Magic Kingdom. What I'm disappointed about is Casey's.
So
because they have a vegan dog.
Okay.
Delicious.
Now, question, is the plastic cheese vegan? Because it can't be real cheese.
I'm sure it has some sort of dairy in it, though.
I'm sure it's some kind of plastic.
It's delicious nonetheless, but
it's absolutely delicious. So for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, Casey's Corner has it's a cheese dipping sauce, but there is a famous Disney YouTuber that calls it plastic cheese. And it looks plastic. Even when it gets cold or cool, it still is dippable.
And it's not vegan.
Oh, it is not vegan.
Didn't think so.
I figured plastic would be vegan. I don't know. I just
and I sent Nina a picture actually earlier. So today,
Yeah, today.
The Emporium has extended into that back portion of Casey's. So
in other words,
Casey's is gonna open it.
isn't opening anytime soon.
No. They had a really good vegan dog on there with slaw and onions, and it was. And
now, was that a foot long dog or one of the smaller ones?
No, it was a Beyond sausage, so it was your regular.
Okay. I didn't know if they made foot long vegan dogs or not. So not trying to be a jerk. I mean, I'm good at being a jerk.
I think that would be too much fake meat for me.
Best overall quick service barbecue, Flame Tree over in Animal Kingdom. Hands down.
I love Flame Tree. I love Flame Tree too.
I'm going to say Regal Eagle.
Regal Eagle has a vegan barbecue as well over there.
I like the pork better at Regal Eagle. Now the ribs were overcooked for me, and the sausage was pointless. But I prefer.
How do I say this nicely? The sausage was horrible at Regal Eagle. I was not a fan of it at all. I do barbecue. As I said, I'm a foodie. I hate the word, but I'm gonna use it. It's kind of like batty. I just,
But you use the word batty.
I know, but no, I'm saying I was all right with batty. It was somebody else, Mackenzie, that hated it. What do I like at Flame Tree? Oh, I usually get they have like a sampler platter that had their ribs were the couple times or the few times that I've had it. They've been actually fairly consistent, which most people that go to Disney a lot, they know that the only thing that is consistent is the inconsistency of food. You can have it you disagree, Nina?
I just don't like that. I don't know.
I've had stuff that it's like you have it one time and it's like, oh, this is the best thing ever. And then like the next time I've had it, it's like, what
Every
happened?
time you have something, you have to hope it was just made for you and it wasn't the last patty or sausage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the pan. And I feel like sometimes you end up being that first person who got a freshly cooked something versus the person who got has been sitting there.
Which definitely could be. But with barbecue, generally everything is made ahead of time anyway. So, I mean, you've got, they're doing this hours and hours ahead and then keeping it warm, which for barbecue is usually fine. The only your worry there is it's going to dry out then. Their brisket actually at Flame Tree was really good. And I felt far better than Regal Eagle's.
I don't remember the brisket at Flame Tree. I normally would get the French fries with the pulled pork.
Ah, yes. That was those are good, definitely. The pulled pork was good. Their chicken is good even. Chicken was a little greasy, actually. The couple times that I've had it, I just kind of you needed an extra wet wipe, which, having a toddler, that's not a really hard thing to do. So it's like, oh, look, diaper bag. I have wet wipes. We're good. But yeah, I really Flame Tree would hands down over Regal Eagle. Now, I loved Regal Eagle's setting though. I'm a huge Muppets fan. So the really gentle Muppetry, we'll call it. I liked. I really loved.
Hold the phone.
Okay.
I have not been to Regal Eagle since it reopened. You telling me there's Muppets?
Oh yeah. Involved
in the decor?
Oh yes, but it's very subtle.
But they don't perform there, right? They're still performing.
No. They're not performing, but there's like.
It's based off Sam Eagle.
Yeah.
Saluting all cuisines, but mostly barbecue.
Okay, this changes everything because the item that's at Regal for me is a jackfruit barbecue burger. And I'm not a huge jackfruit person, so I haven't purposely made my way over there. I just ate at Food and Wine. So now I need to purposely.
Yeah, that is. And I've heard their drink. We didn't drink, but I've heard their drinks are very good over there too. And yes, Bridget.
I've heard the jackfruit's actually really good there.
I've heard it's good. I just have never had jackfruit, and I don't know why I am so afraid. I think it's because it's a new food, and what if I'm allergic to it?
Okay. Are you allergic to many fruits, though?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then I can understand the fear. Trepidation. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, I'm allergic to 24 different items, and a good chunk of them are fruit, tropical fruits, weird fruits, pitted fruits.
And that is a tropical fruit. So
I think it has a pit.
I think it has seeds, if I remember right. Kind of. It's an.
I have a can of it in my pantry.
I've seen them grow wild on my trips. I mean,
It's just something that,
that big.
A lot of my fruits is not something they test you for. You find out over time that that's something you're allergic to, because they can't always test you blood or skin or otherwise for every single crazy ingredient on the planet. So you kind of learn over time. I just don't want to play around.
No. And
while at Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Med Center is, in Mexico. So a little bit of a sprint.
Yeah. And since I spent last big vacation in the ER, I don't want to spend this one in the ER.
You don't want to say see all those people and ask how they're doing?
I mean, I will tell you, the ER we went to last trip was amazing. The staff there were so friendly. I've never had such friendly staff at an ER. But no, I don't want to.
As someone who had chicken pox at Disney, I don't blame you.
No, but I am curious. So it's almost like I want to try jackfruit here and hate it, but at least know if I'm allergic to it or not.
Fair enough.
Oh, hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
You're not late. We're just getting started. We're going off on tangents. We can't stick to a topic. We're just a hot mess.
No, well, we're talking about all things Disney. So, I mean, we're
sticking to food and Disney.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we're doing okay there.
I was going to say just a random Tuesday, but it's definitely not a Tuesday.
So,
what is Charlie saying here? The place in Animal Kingdom? We were talking about Flame Tree, which, yes, is at Animal Kingdom.
So I guess let's talk about Animal Kingdom a little bit more, since we've moved on kind of to there already.
For Magic, sure.
Yeah, so let's talk about Animal Kingdom a little bit. So I've talked about Flame Tree Barbecue. I really enjoy that one. What not necessarily isn't my favorite one though. What are your guys' favorite from Animal Kingdom?
You got one, Bridget?
Thule. And I actually get the kids' meals there. I get the kids' meals like most places I go to.
The pods?
No, I get like a kid's bowl.
Oh, okay.
I don't eat beef, so I don't get the cheeseburger buttons, but
that's right. I'm sorry.
Bowl. So it's perfect size for me.
All right, fair enough.
I'm not spending a fortune on food.
True. I get the kids' meal at Docking Bay, which was in one of my last videos.
We haven't got there yet.
No, it's not. It's not like
I was gonna say, yeah. The question is Casey Corners open? No.
No, Mike. I just saw a photo today that the Emporium was extended into the back part of Casey's. Part of me thinks it's because a lot of DC peers run Casey's. So since the DCP, which is the Disney College program, is not going on right now. Also, I feel like it'd be really hard to social distance behind that counter.
Well, behind the counter, but even in front of that counter.
I mean, everywhere in that place.
The thing that drives me crazy is, and this is coming from the vegan in me, is Casey Jr. has a vegan sausage that's amazing. Friar's Nook also has a vegan sausage that is not amazing. If they could take the amazingness from Casey's and bring it over to Friar's, I would be happy, because it's the same ingredients, but it's missing the crunch and the slaw, which Casey's has.
I always call Friar's Nook just brats and tots.
I miss when they had the mac and cheese.
We had the brats and tots, or the tots. Yeah, the mac and cheese ones last time we were there, they were good.
No.
Oh no.
Originally, like 3 years ago, they used to have different types of mac and cheese. So they had a pot roast mac and cheese, they had a buffalo chicken mac and cheese, they had a barbecue barbecue.
I think they still have the barbecue or the buffalo one.
They do that. Normally they serve it on tots, but you can get it without the tots.
Oh, okay.
But their mac and cheese, they were the big bowls that Disney had.
Just mac and cheese without any tots.
Just mac and cheese.
Oh, okay.
I literally ran there in the rain to get it one day and then ran back to Cosmic Rays to eat it. So I wasn't sitting in the rain.
See, they had now Friar's Nook is open on weekends now.
And Fridays.
Oh, well, yeah. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're open. So we actually ate there last time just here in October that we were there. It was a pain to order.
I just walked right past it. I'm like, I know that sausage ain't good.
Don't get me started on Friar's Nook, their old breakfast. Let's just say I have an entire video complaining about it.
Oh no! Well, let's move back to Animal Kingdom. I think we've got a comment about what Bridget's favorite was again.
Oh yes, the Thule Canteen, and I love their kids' meals.
So Thule is in Pandora.
Pandora.
Yes.
It is near Pongu Pongu.
Yep.
So like if you're looking at, why do I almost call it Rise of the Resistance?
Flights of Passage.
It's to the right of it is Pongu Pongu, and then to the right of that is the Thule Canteen.
So it's inside, and it's the Thule does a lot of like bowls, we'll call it, that you get to. It's kind of like a Qdoba. Well, I'm going to use this analogy. It's like a Qdoba or a Chipotle. Thank you.
Or Subway.
Oh yeah, or Subway, where you get to choose. You get to choose your base, so you can get noodles or you can get rice. I think you can make it into like a lettuce, kind of. Bye, Charlie.
Bye, Charlie. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming by, Charlie.
So you can make it into your own styling, and then you've got choice of different meats. You can do chicken or beef. Or your protein. Do they do tofu? What's that?
Nina, do they do beans?
I think they do beans because I think.
Pull it up.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up too, but because they're closed, I couldn't get to it.
So I have an issue with that location.
Okay.
Because I can't have any of the protein that's offered. I can have the base, but they won't give me two bases. And so you get a base, which is the beans or the rice. You get a protein, which could be tofu or meat. And you get some sort of sauce or vinaigrette, something wet is how I like to put it. So I can't have any of the protein. The protein that's offered for a vegan, I'm allergic to. So I try to just get two bases, rice and beans, and then a vinaigrette. And they basically had a huge tantrum about that. I had to ask for a manager and a chef, and they said this one time only, they'll give me rice and beans and a vinaigrette. I'm like, I'm paying X, Y, and Z for meat, and I only want rice and beans and a vinaigrette. Anyway, they just
they're making money on it.
They're making more money because I'm not getting the meat, which costs more.
Generally, yeah.
But what I did have was good. But it wasn't good enough for me to go back and deal with that one more time. So
understandable. And that's
about that.
What did you say, Bridget?
I hope you went to guest services about that.
You know what? It was that trip where I got sick. And so the last thing I needed to complain about was that location. But we have a question.
Ooh.
That one's tough. Actually, that one's very
be our guest anymore because it's not breakfast anymore.
And well, was that really quick service though?
Yeah, it was a quick service.
Oh, that was quick service at that point. That's right. That's difficult.
Mike, outside of Starbucks, that's going to be a really difficult question.
I think eat at your resort or
Yeah.
pack.
Well, and that's do I dare to say what we actually do? We
Go
we
ahead.
actually we go to Taco Bell on our way to. We
Sorry.
like the burritos. Yeah, I know we like the burritos, and
Well, a
they're like,
resort guest isn't going to do that.
well, yeah, but I stay off of property.
I would say, even if you're staying off property, go to a resort beforehand and have breakfast.
Mike, for what? Because if I remember correctly, you're staying at Yacht Club.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yacht Club does have not Yacht Club does have a quick service kind of breakfast, like grab and go sandwiches. But if you actually walk down the hallway and go to Beach Club's marketplace, they actually have kind of a hot breakfast situation where you can actually get Mickey waffles. Yes, Mickey waffles and bacon and sausage and eggs and those kind of things. But I will tell you personally, as someone who stays at the resort, I'm trying to get to the park as soon as possible. So I will either Amazon Prime order, Garden Grocer, Whole Foods, whatever, and we keep orange juice, donuts, bagels, whatever we need in the room so we can just quickly get something in our tummies and then out the door, versus eating a hearty breakfast. So I usually tell my clients, unless you need that hearty breakfast, I kind of just do a quick and go.
Now I would say, at least in Magic Kingdom, I would say the Gaston cinnamon roll. If you can do just sweets. Now, my wife and little one, they can do a sweet for breakfast without a problem. I cannot.
Yeah, too much sugar.
Yeah, it's me. I can't. And if I do eat it, it's like in 20 minutes, I'm hungry again. But the Gaston cinnamon rolls are really good. If you were going to go to Epcot, your problem there is they open at 11. So
yeah, you got to eat before you go to Epcot.
Yeah, you really need to eat before you go to Epcot. I would say, now, if I was, gun to my head style, I would say the school bread. To me, it's not as sweet, but it has like a vanilla pudding type thing in the middle of it. Oh, go ahead.
I'm trying to think. I had a guest on the show when I was testing out co-hosts, and I want to say it was Danielle, and she said that she could get a really good sort of cheesy croissant-y breakfast sandwich.
That was Leal in France.
It's open.
Yep, Leal is open. In France, they've got a couple different really good ones. I've just have never made it there for breakfast.
And if you like alcohol, they do serve mimosas there in the morning.
Yes, they do. Again, but that's 11. So you're kind of more in that brunch area.
If you're staying at Yacht Club, you could also walk over to the Boardwalk. Is it the Boardwalk Bakery, what it's called?
Yeah, you could walk over to the Boardwalk Bakery. Again, at that point, it's like the time you take, as someone who's done it over and over again, the time it takes to walk to the bakery and walk back when you're trying to get to the park, eat in your room.
Yeah.
Or room service, which costs you more money, but at least it's, I don't know. When it comes to me and Disney, it's more about convenience for us than trying to save a couple of bucks, because whatever can get us out the door and to the parks, because even now at their so-called reduced capacity of 35%, the park you still got to treat it like pre-COVID. You want to go at rope drop before the park actually opens. It's the best time to maximize all those rides. And for us, that just means skipping the hot big breakfast.
But again, we talked about this, I think, before you got on, Mike. It's really what works for your family.
Right.
So we can give you a bunch of different tips that, what works for our families. But really it comes down to knowing your family and what works the best for you. Right. And really that's any of these things. I mean, we can tell you exactly what works for us, and then you try that and you're like, this is the worst tip ever.
Yeah.
And Bridget probably eats at home or packs some sort of quick bar to eat in the car.
Or I'll grab something from, like, we have a gas station around here in Orlando called Wawa, which you can get really good breakfast burritos or breakfast sandwiches or pastries and coffee. We might grab something there and eat it in the car on the way. I am staying on property in a few weeks, and I think we're just going to go down for 2 of the days, we'll just eat at the quick service there for breakfast. But I
They
think
have a really good breakfast there at Contempo Cafe.
yeah. And then we might go to the Wave for breakfast one morning. I've done the Wave before for breakfast, but they don't do the buffet anymore, obviously. But they have really good options.
Yeah. I always say check out your resort. You'd be surprised what your resort has. You just have to plan your attack a little sooner, because breakfast at the parks, even if they have it, the line could be longer for those people who didn't know and didn't plan ahead.
And if you like Starbucks, the line will be out the door. It will.
Starbucks line is always long. I completely avoid them. And I think Woody's Toy Box, which has been slated to open, has Pop-Tarts. I'm just not sure if they're open for breakfast, but I do know they have Pop-Tarts.
They weren't open yesterday at all.
Yeah, which is a bummer, because that's one of my favorite quick stops. And
I've actually never eaten there.
Their
I had a horrible meal there.
Their brisket mac and cheese, or not brisket mac and cheese, their brisket grilled cheese was actually really good.
I'm sad I never got to try their it's like the one that they have at the Blue Bayou. The sandwich.
Oh, the Monte Cristo?
Yes.
That's not at the Blue Bayou, though. That's at the Cafe Orleans.
Oh, see, I thought Blue Bayou also had it.
I don't think Blue Bayou has it. I thought that was something really big that you would get at Cafe Orleans.
I don't remember it on the menu, but then again, I always get jambalaya when I'm at
I've never been. I was supposed to be there in 2 weeks. So
we were there a week and a half before they closed. So
yeah. I was there 3 times last year, not to brag, but I was. But yes, I'm pretty sure the Monte Cristo is only at Cafe Orleans, along with the garlic puma, however you say that type of fries, that every time I see someone order them, the smell just brings me back home. The garlic. Because I grew up in garlic country.
California?
Yes, we are known for our garlic. Boy loves their garlic. And I spent many a summers over at the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk, which was the first to really have garlic fries, which is literally fries with fresh crushed garlic.
I've heard of those, actually. Yeah.
It sounds right up my alley.
Oh, so good.
All right. Well, let's get back to quick service. We'll try to steer us back here. So we went through
unique garlic fries, just saying.
So we went through Animal Kingdom, and well, actually, Nina, where was your Animal Kingdom choice?
Animal Kingdom is hard for me. Flame Tree probably, but we can only get the one item, which is the Beyond sausage, which they can also make gluten-free. I just asked the manager when I was there. Like Restafanosaurus and Pizza Fari are usually hit or miss. Sometimes they can make a burger vegan, but not gluten-free. We actually, to be honest, try to do table service at Animal Kingdom because it is kind of a rougher one for us. We used to eat at, what is it, Mr. Kamal's?
Oh, yeah.
They used to have they used to have a vegan thing there you could order, but as far as I remember, they've gotten rid of that thanks to COVID. So, yeah.
It's just Yak and Yeti.
What?
Is the Yak and Yeti quick service open there?
The quick service, I do believe, is open. They can't really cater to us, but we are eating at Yak and Yeti's, the actual restaurant, for our next trip. So that'll be in our reviews. So that'll be good.
All right. And mine actually is the same as Bridget's. I enjoy the dishes there. So, let's.
We did Magic Kingdom. We just did Animal.
Yeah. So let's move on to Hollywood, actually. Hollywood. What? Now, their quick services, to me, hit or miss.
Well, they're missing quite a few.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think they're missing fewer, I'm going to say, than Magic Kingdom. Or at least the variety there's more variety to me than there is at Magic Kingdom.
And I'm just upset because they got rid of Fairfax Fair. Fairfax something.
Fairfax. I was just there. Why can't I remember?
It's Fairfax. Something begins with an F. Anyway, it's across from Beauty and the Beast, which is also closed. But you used to be able to get beans and rice and like a taco thingy there. But that's
Would you be able to eat the fried green tomato there?
I don't know if I could have. I'm not really a fried green tomato.
Usually, well, unless they can make that gluten free, because
There was Fairfax there.
Fairfax Fair, yeah.
R-E.
No, it's not open yet. We were just talking about that. We're not sure when it opens, but it has been slated to reopen. There was a big announcement about Woody's Lunchbox, but I do know that they changed a few of the menu items. So heads up on that one.
And also to note, Toy Story Land is not decorated for Christmas yet.
Well, it kind of always is, though.
No, because they've got the Christmas ham cookie. They've got the alien ornaments.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm just saying that you always have the Christmas lights that are strong.
Yeah,
so
Woody normally has a scarf.
Rex has the hat.
The antlers, yeah.
Oh, the antlers.
That's
right.
singing Christmas carols at Slinky Dog, but that's it.
Interesting that they haven't done that yet.
I was shocked too. I asked a cast member, and they were like, "Yeah, it got decorated later than the rest of the park last year. Also, we don't know why."
we were there the week before Christmas, so everything was. But what interested me is we went back in January, like mid-January, and most everything was still up.
It's because of the marathon.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to find pictures, but I may have already gotten rid of them. My phone only holds so many pictures.
Now, Bridget, what is your favorite? Well, Nina's looking for.
So right now it's the commissary.
The commissary?
However, it used to be Backlot Express back when they did the chicken and waffles.
All right.
And I've never eaten at Docking Bay.
Ooh, I love Docking Bay.
See, I like Docking Bay, but my favorite probably, and there's really only one thing there. Well, I think there's more than one, but no one ever gets anything else to my knowledge. Is Ronto's Roasters.
See,
I really like their little wrap, the Ronto.
Disneyland Ronto Roasters has a vegan version.
Really?
Which Disney World never got.
Kind of. Okay, there's some commentary about California that I'll just leave out, which doesn't really surprise me that they have that, but it does surprise me that they didn't bring it to.
We've been begging and begging, but I don't know why they won't bring it to World, because it's the same Beyond Sausage kind of situation. But yeah, Galaxy's Edge over at Disneyland's Ronto Roasters has a vegan version.
Was not aware of that. So, but yeah, that is the Ronto wrap is one of my favorite. And actually, that goes back to the breakfast question. There is a breakfast version of that as well that has egg and the sausage. It is good. I think I would, if I had to choose the lunch or the breakfast, I would choose the lunch. The roast pork with the sausage is just really good. But the breakfast is very good as well. So, but you don't get the slaw with the breakfast either. And then that was kind of I understand, because the slaw would kind of be weird on the egg, but that slaw really does make a lot of the meal. So.
Right, which is why I wanted Casey's dog over Friar's Nooks, because Casey's comes with slaw and Friar's is just a naked dog.
Oh yeah, that. So we're briefly getting through breakfast, kind of. So
sort of making our way as we remember.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of, we've been there, all three of us, quite a bit. So it's kind of, we have to rack our brains a little bit to
things
figure out.
Even changed. Like, I was there and ABC Commissary wasn't open, and literally it opened the next day.
Yeah. And I think they just had opened
like 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Oh, is it? I thought they were. No, I guess they weren't open in. Yeah, that would have been right before or during when I was there. I think they just opened.
Yeah.
Which is like the 28th of October style.
Time, space, continuum.
With lockdown, yeah, it's day 1432. They all kind of run together.
That's why it's hard to plan this stuff too far out. I have a lot of clients who really want to, they want to talk to me about quick service, as soon as they book their trip a year out. And I'm like, we kind of got to wait because so many things change, especially now, that I kind of like, save those kind of conversations for a month or two. And even right now, almost like a week before, because things are kind of popping up that weren't open before. So
yeah.
It was like when the parks opened, Gaston's Tavern wasn't open.
No, they opened beginning of October, if I remember right. Yeah. So
and
they were.
Gaston, if you're listening, we need a vegan cinnamon roll.
Vegan or gluten?
Yes.
Well, I need the vegan. The daughter needs the vegan gluten, but I will be honest, the vegan gluten is a hot mess. The only place we can get that is Erin McKenna's. So we order way too much Erin McKenna's, have it in the room so she can have that vegan gluten-free treat. But I mean, that's just the way of life for her. So she understands that, but I try to help out by at least having the cupcakes and the donuts, at least in the room. And then she loves Dole Whip. So
problem solved.
I could probably just survive on Dole Whip as well. So
I know I could.
My little man is just holy moly.
We have this video where we went to the Polynesian. We checked in. It was years ago. It was when they were under construction years ago when they got rid of the actual waterfall. And I'm filming. We just checked in and I really needed a Dole Whip because, I was thirsty and so I got a Dole Whip and I asked her to hold it. She's real little, like 3 or 4. And I asked her, I'm like, hold mommy's Dole Whip because I'm trying to film. Plus I've got the suitcase. By the time we got to the room, there was nothing left.
There was no Dole Whip.
And I'm like, what did you do? She was like, oh, I it's gone. All gone.
Okay.
What did you do?
All gone.
It was mommy's.
Yeah, if I would let my little man, he could absolutely just house a Dole Whip.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everyone's best friend, the Dole Whip.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think I know anyone who doesn't like a Dole Whip.
I know a couple, and I've since removed them from my life because I don't need that.
I was like, you don't need that type of negativity now.
Exactly. I just don't need that type of negativity in my life. So, bye.
All right. So we talked about our Hollywood studios. So mine was Fairfax Fair, which is closed. So now it's Docking Bay. There's 2 items on the menu, which are vegan, which I love. But we will find out this next trip if they can make any of those gluten-free as well. Because my daughter has yet to eat there. Because I always pack her food just in case. Little side note, I pack her a meal for every park day because I just never know what I'm going to get into at the quick service for her.
Yeah.
A few have been like, oh, we have French fries. That's not really helpful. So it is what it is. We went to Be Our Guest, and I hate Be Our Guest. I have no problem saying that. But the first time we went, all they could give her was toast. We were on the meal plan, and she got toast. And that's when I found out they don't have a full kitchen in that restaurant.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
And I was like, yeah, that makes me never want to eat here again. Thank you.
Wow.
Can you imagine 2 credit restaurant serving those giant dinners and there's no actual full restaurant or kitchen in that location?
That is interesting to know, actually.
Yeah, because I have a friend who has a peanut allergy and she ordered what she thought was Mickey waffles and she got frozen waffles for breakfast.
Yeah, frozen van waffles, and which are gluten-free and vegan, which are great, but I'm not spending however much a breakfast is on a frozen.
Like what, $25 a person or something like that?
I don't know, and that was back when it was quick service, but yeah, that place just makes me nervous. I want a place with a full-on kitchen, with a full-on chef. So, okay, so
learn.
What?
I said things you learn.
Things you learn, right?
The more you know.
All right, so that was Hollywood. We sort of dabbled on Epcot, but I don't think we got everyone's favorite quiz.
No, we really didn't. And I guess I'll start on that one. My favorite is open on the weekends now. And this is a really weird favorite out of I love being a foodie and everything else, but it's actually the quick service in China.
Ooh.
They've got a, and I don't remember that it's Lotus something.
Lotus Blossom.
I think it's Lotus Blossom. I think is the quick service. But they have a Mongolian beef noodles, and it's served in this big to-go looking noodle container. And the story about this one, we'll do it real quick. My wife was pregnant with little man, and we saw a couple people sitting there eating them and walking around the world. And my wife went, I want those. So I had to figure out where they were coming from. And we finally did. We grabbed one of them, and both of us, she started in on it and went, I love these. These are fantastic. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure if this is because you're pregnant that you really love these. I took a bite and I'm like, I really like these. So that is something that it's a fond memory for us. So, and food has memory. It brings back memories for a lot of people. And so that is a one for us that we have to go back there and get that because of that fond memory of her being pregnant with little man on our baby moon, we'll call it. So that is my favorite. However, they are open on the weekends, but they don't have that. So that is sad. But for us,
I'm really curious to know how they decide what they bring back.
I really wonder the same thing because it's.
Especially at a location like that where you would consider Mongolian beef kind of being a staple in that type of a restaurant.
Yeah.
And well, they've got like orange chicken still and whatnot, but I think that is probably the only one that needed noodles. So they eliminated that. This is my guess completely. You could
put the beef on rice.
I think they did. I think they had that, but I'm trying to remember because I just walked in there and looked at the menu and you don't have the beef and noodle, and she's like, no, I'm sorry, and then I'm like, okay, thanks, and walked out.
And you bolted, yeah.
Yeah, so there might have been one on rice, but again, we love the noodles, and that was the huge part of it for us. So, but I'm guessing that because that's the only one with noodles. That's probably why they eliminated that, whereas all the rest of them had rice. So my guess could be wrong, but yeah, that is probably one of my favorite quick services in Epcot. Bridget, how about you?
Mine's a tie, actually. So one of mine is not open right now. And that is the quick service location in Morocco. I always get the vegetarian platter because it's huge.
It is.
I share it with people normally because of the portion. And you get falafels, you get tabbouleh, you get olive
couscous,
you get an olive salad, and I love olives. You get hummus, you get pita. All of it, and it's so filling and it's so flavorful and delicious and fresh. I know they also do the meat on the spools if you are a meatitarian, as Nick says. I like meat, but the vegetarian platter is so good and so filling for the size. But that's not open right now, so probably Les Boulangerie Patisserie. It is a French bakery. Can you go wrong? But lately, when I go to Epcot, I don't really eat at the quick service places because you're going in at 11, the festival's going on, and you're going to want to try the food at the festival. At least for me. I know Nina has a completely different situation. But
for me, I do the same thing as for now, and I would consider those quick service. I don't know. Would you call those the kiosk quick service? No,
because
they're quick service.
What's that, Nina?
They're priced like a quick service. I got a small meatball for $11, and
it's the prices are. I compare it to tapas. I said tapas, everybody, not topless, just to, yeah. Anyway, family show. Tapas. If you've gone to a tapas restaurant, they are a little more expensive. I mean, you're paying to share plates, and they're usually in that $8 range. And a lot of when you're going to these places, you are getting a smaller portion that, we share. So is it a more expensive day? Absolutely. If I had to choose my favorite out of all of that, I think it would be something with the fire one.
Flavor of fire.
Yeah, flavor of fire or something like that. They have a chimichurri sauce one that was unreal. It was fantastic. I loved it. I would have gotten it again a couple times extra, but we had went to for my birthday. We ate at Chefs de France, and both did one of their pick 3 meals for $50. You also got a glass of wine and everything else. We didn't eat dinner that night. We had so much food for lunch that we didn't need anything else. So, but yeah, that the fire one is fantastic. I really like that one. Nina, how about you? What is do you have a go-to quick service at Epcot?
Unfortunately, not anymore. Sunshine Seasons Cafe, which is obnoxious to say because there's too many S's. Sunshine Seasons.
Well, suffer and succotash.
I know. It's just, that was our go-to because they had quite a few vegan staples that you could just order. Plus they had certain ingredients where I could go to the chef and they could custom make, usually my kids, some sort of burrito with rice and beans and whatnot.
Okay.
But they don't carry those anymore.
And that is in land for everybody. So
yeah,
now,
that's in the world.
Is it that they don't carry it due to COVID, or did they get rid of it pre-COVID?
I'm assuming it's because of COVID, because they used to be, Sunshine Seasons Cafe is usually incredibly busy, like flooded with people. It's hard to get a seat. We were just there in October and it was empty. I almost went in there to get a Mickey pretzel. Like, it was dead. But I think it was the vegan karma or something that was on the menu. It was really good. So right now our go-to will be in Mexico. We'll just get guac and chips and kind of pack our own little nut butter sandwich and wait till we can get a table service. Because even though I can eat some items at Food and Wine, my kids cannot. So
and if I'm correct, all of us, the next time we'll be at Epcot will be Festival of the Holidays.
And that's a whole nother thing because I
think Food and Wine ends on the 22nd.
It's really soon. Because
I know Festival of the Holidays begins the 24th.
Yeah, so probably the 22nd. They got a 2-day turnaround and
quickly swap out the menus and change the drivers. And I'm assuming a lot of those items will be very similar outside of the holiday.
They even changed, France changed over stuff in the middle of the festival because they had it was a mushroom something or other that I could never pronounce, even though I took 2 years of high school French, and then went to escargot. Yeah.
Also, correction, Festival of the Holidays begins November 27th.
I thought it was a little bit longer.
It's like a week turnaround.
Yeah, I was saying, I think it's the 22nd. I could be wrong on when Food and Wine ends, but the part I'm sad about is was the 25th anniversary, and it was all of this. So,
Disneyland celebrated their big birthday. Who knows what Disney World's big birthday will be? Yeah, so there's one item that's on Festival of the Holidays. Bridget knows. Was up there last year.
And I got really excited for Nina when I saw it was on this year also.
It's just a cookie. It's a black and white cookie with a slight lemon taste that happens to be vegan. It is not also gluten-free. It's just vegan. And I remember running to Epcot from Yacht Club like 3 times during our last trip to get this dang cookie. So I'm really, really excited. Unfortunately, the actual plant-based like food item on the menu includes mushrooms. It's what is it, like a shepherd's pie, a vegan shepherd's pie, but it's mushrooms, and I'm allergic to mushrooms. But that cookie is.
I'm excited for the cookie stroll. It's been going on for 3 years, and I haven't done it 1 year.
Oh, you haven't done it yet?
I've never done it. So we'll be there. I'll be celebrating my birthday because my birthday's in December. So we'll be celebrating that with like some family, and we're going to do the cookie stroll. And yeah, I'm super excited for the cookie stroll this year.
And for me, I haven't looked. So
the menus are huge, Nick.
Are they? Yeah, I haven't
like
looked yet. So
pages. And it's a lot of like new this year, new this year, new this year.
So get to reading, huh?
Of like the American kitchen, like the Thanksgiving dinner thing.
Okay.
But there's a lot of new things this year. There's a cookie that looks like Spaceship Earth.
Awesome. Because I'm sorry, Spaceship Earth is one of my favorite things. It always will be, and always has been, always will be. And you know, yeah, I was guilty as a kid and called it the giant golf ball. I'll admit it.
I still call it that. We're still like, hey, let's go get the giant golf ball picture.
Fun fact, Spaceship Earth helped me pass one of my college courses.
Oh, score. We'll have to learn about that.
I'll get this one for you. My wife's favorite. Oh, that is cool. My wife's favorite donut, and she doesn't know why, but it is just one of her favorites, and it looks like the Homer donut, actually, is actually outside of Hollywood Tower of Terror. There's a little shop back there, and there's other places you can get it too at Hollywood Studios, but it is a giant donut.
Is it the same one you can get from Joffrey's?
It is at Joffrey's, but that's just her favorite spot to get it is outside of the Tower of Terror.
It's big too, right?
Yeah, it's like yay big. It's a big donut, and it kind of it's got a pink frosting, which it looks a lot like the Homer donut. No, they will never say that, of course, because there's a competitor, in town that probably has those. They do have those.
And you can get plush ones too, because Nina almost bought it several times.
You can also get chocolate ones.
Ah, okay. So, but yeah, that's my wife's favorite one. And she gets one, I would say, every trip. So
other than that and Aaron McKenna's.
Yeah, that's where we go, is Aaron McKenna's.
Is that there will be a donut shop in Disney Springs. I can't remember what the name of it'll be.
Donut,
Ever something?
Something donut. Something before the word donut.
Is it Ever Donut? No.
Yes.
My credit card is always angry with me when I go to Epcot. And it's not because I had souvenirs. So
no,
Everglazed.
What is it called?
Everglazed.
Everglazed. That's the thing about
I
food and wine is I think people need to like my clients all the time, they really, really want to eat at Food and Wine because of all the hubbub about it, but it is pricey and your item is like this big. So you have to be willing to wait in line to pay pretty decent amount of money for a really small item. And to get full, you kind of need to do that 2 or 3 to 4 to 5 times.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're thinking about it this way, if you're like, I just said, I spent $50 on our lunch at Chef de France. If I spent $50 at these Food and Wine booths, I'm going to get I would get probably about as much food, but it's going to be different things. So it's like a tapas.
And now that the fact that we're mentioning this, I'm just going to mention one little tip. Instead of swiping your card every single time, I know you can pay with your Magic Band, but you could also get, and I don't have one with me, I talked about it last week, the little gift cards that you put around your wrist. Yeah.
We've got a comment about it right now.
Yeah. So you don't have to swipe your card all the time. You don't have a ton of transactions going out. You can just use a Disney gift card. And you can refill that anywhere on property. You can use it at Disney Springs. You can even use it at the Disney stores, the ones that are still open.
So, Will, there's a couple different ways to do it the gift card way. You can get them at like Targets or Sam's, and you can get a discount with that. At Target, if you have a red card, you can get 5% off. The Sam's Clubs around us aren't actually as good. It isn't a 5% discount off of the, I think it's the $500 one. It's like $484 for that one. That's just the one that I can remember. So going to Target generally is a better price there, but they also sell cute little ones that go around your wrist. For me, they cut off my circulation because I have a giant wrist. But you can scan them that way, and they sell them at Epcot for those. Now, for me, I don't swipe my card. I do the Google Pay. I have a Google Pixel, and so I just do my phone. And the reason I do that is actually a couple different reasons. Number one is it's contactless. Number two is it's actually a security thing that Google, and I think Apple Pay is the same way, that it uses a rotating number. So it's linked to your credit card, but it doesn't actually use your credit card number. So if somebody actually gets a hold of Disney's list of credit cards that have been used, they don't actually get your credit card number. So it's actually a way more secure way to do it, because they get this random. And if you looked at your receipt and it says your last four numbers, the last four numbers are rotating. They're different every time that you use it. So say my last four are 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, on that credit card receipt, it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8. So it won't be your number. So that's why I use that. I'm an IT geek in my normal job. So,
and most people who stay on property are just going to use their Magic Band. It gets charged to your room, in which case when you check out, they give you your list of purchases. Sometimes I look through it and go, yep, pretzel.
I think mine would look like that old scroll that and
the very first Apple.
Yeah, that would be mine. So.
But the thing Bridget was talking about is really handy for people, especially if you're a local, because you don't have a Magic Band. And unless you want to get out your phone, it's on your wrist. So you're holding a drink in one hand from the previous food and wine station. And this way it can kind of just scan on your wrist that way. It's just personal preference.
There we go.
What happened?
Sorry. Mickey went for a run, but they have them for all different ones. So this one was Flower and Garden.
Right, and they're collectible too.
Food and Wine 2017. This is one that you can get all times of year. And they're cute. They've got different characters on them. This one, for example, for Flower and Garden. This you can actually plant. And it's embedded with wildflower seeds. So you can grow them.
I have a question for you, Bridget.
Yeah.
How secure do you think those are? Because I think my biggest concern would be that not the bracelet falling off my wrist, but the thing ripping. And then
this is actual plastic.
Okay.
Like an actual debit card. You can hear it. So this I wouldn't be afraid of coming off. The only one I've ever had an issue with was, where is he? This one. The Mickey one. I got this literally 7 years ago.
Okay, so it's older.
And it popped off my wrist on Space Mountain, but it was in the car with me. But the new ones they have, you can kind of see it. They've got metal on them, and they are hard plastic, so it'd be really hard. I've never had one fall off other than that Mickey one, and it was on Space Mountain and got caught on the little little bag thing on the side.
No, it's good. That was my biggest worry, is because the last thing you want to do is put $50 on that thing and then oops.
See, the one that I really want, Nina's saying yes, you can. So
usually you can do it at your resort. When you check in, you can talk to a cast member, and they can usually add your gift card on there.
Now going back to gift cards, there is one that I want but I just haven't done it. It's the one from Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah, that one's really neat. It's metal.
Yeah, it's a metal. Yeah, it's the type of currency that Batu uses, and it's stamped to look like that. But it's you pay $4 for it.
I was gonna say you actually have to pay for that one.
Yes, you pay for $4, but you then have to put $100 on it. So it's $104. So.
Mike, so these you can only get in the parks, but the actual Disney gift cards, I don't have one on me. You can buy them anywhere. And I know there's a change with Disney gift card coming up soon. I don't really know what, but you can actually like transfer it. So if you create a Disney gift card account, you can combine gift cards together. So like, let's say you have 3 of the actual card Disney gift cards and you want to put them all on this one, you could.
Right. Yeah, they are changing the gift card policy at the website. So make sure you check out the disneygiftcard.com or whatever that website is, because a lot of people store their gift cards under their account. And I do believe Disney is changing that. So soon you won't be able to access your old cards.
I think it's January 1st.
Okay. So you assume like for a family who might give each kid a card and then you've had a couple of trips and there's $5 left on this card and $8 left on this card. They want you to consolidate, get that all on one card, and kind of streamline the situation.
Mike, I don't believe there's a limit. It doesn't say anything about a limit on it. I assume as much as you want. I've got one that has like $60 on it right now. And we add money to it every time we go, just so we're not paying with our card all the time. And I think I mentioned this last week, but when you mobile order, you can use a Disney gift card.
Yeah, you did mention that last week.
Yep. Tim, you bring up a great point too. That if you use a cashback card, then you actually save more money on buying your things as well. And depending on how you credit card hack, we do miles because we have to fly. We are big on United because it is United for the most part is cheaper for us to fly out of a major airport that is close to us. I've got 2 major airports that are 2.5 hours away from me. I could go to one or the other. United's usually cheaper to be able to fly out of, so that's the one I go with. But they give me 1.5 miles for every $1 I spend because I have the club cards, which also means I get to go to the club when they're open because of COVID. So that's an issue right now. But yeah, if you can credit card hack and do that type of thing, that's a great thing. We use the miles because we fly back down to Florida fairly frequently.
You can also debit card hack. For example, I know my debit card, you get points for every $1 spent, depending on what you're purchasing. And then you can redeem those points for gift cards. So
okay, yeah.
The gift card is listed on there a lot.
Ah, yes, Nina.
Or the Disney Chase Visa. I have paid off thousands of dollars. I have the Disney Chase Visa. I get extra points when I get more than usual points on certain things like Disney vacations. So I've actually... the cruise we were supposed to go on last April, which has now been pushed farther out, I had paid off $3,000 on that cruise. That was all points from our Chase Disney Visa, just because I used that Visa. So that was like an instant $3,000 savings on our cruise. That was only because I used that credit card. So there's definitely different credit cards and situations out there. We do Disney so often that it makes sense for us to save money on the Disney route, especially on like a cruise, because they are kind of a pricier vacation. But like Nick says, if you're a miles person and that's where you know you're going to spend the money.
Or if you know that your flights are going to be the most expensive part of your trip.
Right. Which for us is usually hit or miss, like depending on what time you fly. You can usually score a deal or you can spend way too much money to fly.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing is, I'm Nina, you and I are both travel channels. So we don't just do Disney. I've literally flown around the world. I went east the entire way, on points. I paid, I think, a total of I think it was $28 because I used points to go to Thailand and did it that way. So, I mean, that was something that was important to me though. So yeah, it depends on what works for you. Again, we can give you all these tips. It's what works for us and for our families. So
the same thing with the Delta. I also have the Delta American Express credit card, which means I don't have to pay for our luggage, which is great because as a family, we travel so many times a year that to not have to pay $25 times 4.
So 25 or 35 now? I think it's 35 now.
It's 25 for the first bag, 35.
Oh, is it 35 for the? Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't it depend on if you buy it ahead of time or at the counter? Or...
I don't know if Delta does all that.
Not with Delta or United. It depends, like JetBlue and Spirit and those.
Yeah, they can get funky.
They get nickel and dimey weird. Like they'll charge you $10 to print your ticket out. Yeah, I'm like, whoa, no. So a lot of the times, what I found at least is by the end of you buying a budget one, you're spending the same as if you just would have flown United or Delta or one of the major carriers. At least in my experience.
Flights is a whole nother subject that I think we could also talk about because I also have my opinion on flights and airlines for sure. But yeah, for credit cards, you just got to look to see where you're going to spend your money. So I have both kinds. I have Delta and Disney, depending on the trip, the situation.
That's funny. I actually have I have United and also the Delta card, depending on who I'm flying. So, and there are benefits of both of those cards too. United only gives me 1 passenger for your bags. Delta gives you up to 8, I think.
Yes, so we talk about flights. Yeah, we'll have to work that in one of these days.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have one about
involved in with Mike. Sorry.
Yeah, flights is a whole new ball game. That each and everybody has their own way of doing it. As well, I'm sure.
Yep, and people have their preferences, and don't be dissing someone's preference because I have had a few people yell at me because I don't fly their carrier. But
I fly the cheapest, and that's not going to nickel and dime me.
Right. I advise not to fly the cheapest because I find that they end up canceling flights more frequently. They end up rerouting flights more frequently, and they end up changing flight times more frequently. Yep. And when you're someone who really needs to leave at a certain time on a certain day to make a certain situation, it's sometimes worth it to pay the extra $1 to make sure you're there.
I'm going to say one last thing about flights. With that nickel and dime airline, my mother was supposed to fly into Orlando on 4th of July. Not this year. She got delayed by day, would have been 2 days. She got a flight from that airline to Tampa that landed at 2 a.m. Her other flight would have landed at 8 p.m. the next day. They don't have cars. Rental car places aren't open at 2 a.m. So my boyfriend went and drove and picked them up and drove them back.
Yeah, as I said, I fly United a lot. I'll have gold status by the end of the year with United, actually. And, people will badmouth them. I have good luck with them. So, yeah, it all depends on your preference. And to me, I don't choose who has the best deal most of the time. I've looked through my, the history of it and going, well, United's, for me, really good. Now, Nina, for you, Delta's probably really good because you're next to a major hub.
Well, that, and I'm flying 4 people, as I think you don't have to pay for your youngest yet. So I have to pay for 4 people. I have to fly 4 people, and I have to pay for luggage for 4 people.
Yeah.
Because despite the fact that I have kids who wear little items, we travel with food and all sorts of stuff. So for me to save on the paying for the suitcase, so like for Delta having that card, I save $100 per flight, but you fly both ways. So that's $200 round trip that I'm saving.
Yep. And United, the card that I have actually gives me 2 bags for me and a companion. So I can bring up to 4 large bags. So even when I have to pay for little man, that'll still, I'll just have 2 bags.
Right.
So,
No, I get 3 bags with as many people as I purchase.
oh yeah. Yeah. You have, I think 2 bags with up to 8 people, if I remember right.
And me, who has no little people, I like to fly, depending on where I'm going, Southwest. I can get a lot of places via Southwest. Now, when I had trips when I had my trip planned to go to Disneyland, I had American booked because I could get a nonstop flight for $250 round trip.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, Tim, actually Mike and Tim, both of you, the nonstop is a big thing. And that's, I drive 2.5 hours to a major hub so I can get direct flights. Now, occasionally, depending on, I live in a snow belt in the Midwest. So occasionally it's almost better because I don't have to drive 2.5 hours in possible really bad weather. So I'll take the flight instead and take a closer. So again, it depends on your situation there and what you're comfortable with. I've seen where our major highways are basically shut down and impassable. And it would take me 8 hours to drive home. Or I can drive 20 minutes to my local airport and just pay some extra money to be able to take that flight. So there's a lot of decisions that go in there too. So,
Sure.
but I think we definitely need to have a flight school, shall we call it, for one of our next shows, by all means. So,
yeah, and being a travel agent, I've got clients flying all over the world for other random reasons, and that's a whole nother
ball of wax. So, well, I think we've covered we've covered our quick service pretty decently. We got
a question here. It really depends because I specialize in on property. So, Jose, are you talking about a Disney on property, or are you talking off property? Because and then also, what is best value? Do you mean cheapest? Do you mean has the best of everything? Transportation, shuttles, price,
location,
the whole kit and caboodle. So for me, I usually suggest that the absolute cheapest hotel price wise is not going to be your best value if you consider all of the above and things that people don't usually realize within a Disney vacation. But if you're talking a Disney property, I like Pop Century. It's a value resort and it's a good price point. But at the same time, if the higher up you go, the more perks and capabilities you get with transportation and whatnot. So it's kind of a cluster of a question, if you ask me, because there's so many things that kind of goes into that whole best value.
It's kind of like what we talked about earlier. What works for us might not work for you.
Right.
Absolutely. So, well, guys, we've been on an hour and 40 minutes. Hopefully we've gotten a lot of your questions answered. But I've got a little man that needs to get to sleep. So I know he's a night owl, but he's still, he's teething, he's cranky. And that's just me, actually. But he's fine.
And my kids have been asleep for an hour and a half.
Yeah, I got the night owl. So yeah. But he doesn't get up until like 8, which is nice. So
I can get up around 7.
Yeah.
I trained him that way though, and that's a whole nother subject.
Oh yeah, which applies to Disney actually too. So
it does, because I feel like the way you parent at home, and I'm not talking about discipline, I'm talking about just the flow of your parenting and lifestyle with your kid at home, really needs to reflect how you vacation, because you cannot expect your scheduled child to become a night owl and expect them to do it all over again the next day. Just like you can't expect your night owl child to be up at rope drop and still continue to be a night owl later in the evening. So it's always based on, again, what happens at home.
Which I think is a whole nother video as well. So
Awesome, Mike. I'm so glad these are helpful. We do go live, as I feel like we're closing out here. We go live every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. and we do this purely to help you guys plan your Disney vacations. So please come at us with your questions. There will be a few weeks where we will not have a live because one or both of us or all of us will be at Disney. But pretty much we are here every week, every Wednesday. We will have a different subject within the planning, genre. But yeah, we'll be here to help you guys plan your vacations and answer your questions. Again, I am a travel agent, so I consider myself the Disney travel expert. I have done it all. Nick is a travel channel who has done it all as well. And Bridget, we're lucky enough to have a local who does things in a different way, but at the same time, she's got like at the beat, at the pulse information because she was able to be there, say, yesterday, as I was only there, say, 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, we could have this. What?
They ever? Oh, no, I can't do
the arrows. I know this is ridiculous. It's opposite.
There we go. If either of those guys have questions, I try to answer them for them in the park.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving. Yes, that's true. Bridget's very helpful.
Yes, absolutely.
While we close out, I'm also gonna, yes, you too, Tim. Thank you. Make sure you guys like this video, please. Thank you for commenting and joining us. But we would absolutely love it if you would take the time to sub to all of our channels. So Bridget and Nick's channel are listed in the description below. Of course, you are watching on my channel, so please go ahead. If the subscribe button is red, please click it and turn it gray. But yeah, we're all growing YouTubers who have really good information, and we're trying to get that stuff out to you.
And we care, and that's one of their big things. I'm not saying that the giant YouTubers don't care, but we do this because
we love it.
Fun for us, and we love it. So we hope that you guys love the advice and subscribe and like and comment.
We're not making the big bucks like the other ones are. So
no, these are not our
jobs. Making any bucks.
Yeah, some of us aren't making anything. Yeah, so yet we're hoping. Someday.
It's a long process. YouTube is, I always call it a crazy beast, and yeah. So anyway, we because it's a crazy beast, we appreciate all the love you guys can send to us, and a simple click of the like or the subscribe or even a little comment like, hey, loved your video this week, can't wait for the next one. Little things like that actually go a long way for us to help us go through the crazy YouTube algorithm and whatnot. So again, thank you guys for taking the time to watch and ask us your questions. Please like and comment and subscribe to all three of us. And yeah, next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Nick and I will be back for sure. Bridget pops in when she can, depends on her work schedule, and we might have another guest as well. So yeah, should we say our goodbyes, Nick, and say what's coming up on our channels?
Yep, let's go ahead and do that. And Bridget, we'll start with you.
So coming up on my channel next will be the holidays at Disney's Hollywood Studios. This includes cavalcades, treats, updates when it comes to rides. Little spoiler alert, they aren't doing the pre-show for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway right now. Yeah. So
what is I'll ask you later. I don't think I've caught the pre-show ever, unless I've just missed it. What is the pre-show?
When you're standing in that little room on the dots.
Oh, I've never seen the pre-show. They've always.
Oh God.
Stay on, Bridget. I want to know what this pre-show is.
We'll chat.
Never seen it.
That's what's coming up. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. And this is Bridget's Buzz.
Yay.
All right. On mine, we have a couple restaurant reviews coming up. We're actually going to be doing Homecoming with a toddler and also Chef de France with a toddler.
Wait,
a lot of people. Yeah, strangely, I didn't leave him back in the hotel room. Weird. But there's a lot of information on these restaurants, but I'm trying to take a little bit different look because, are these good spots to be with a toddler? Not only the food choices, but also how do the people treat you having a toddler there, because parents know that occasionally you don't get treated the same way at a restaurant. So I've got a couple of videos showing what happens. So that's coming up, and all sorts of other craziness. So so we'll see what's there, and we'll see you real soon. Nina.
All right. Well, as you guys know, I am going through my trip, which was literally 2 weeks ago. So I just finished Magic Kingdom videos, which will be up this week. So yesterday was part 1. Friday will be part 2. And then I stayed at 4 different resorts. So all of those tour videos, room videos, gift shop videos will be happening on Sundays. And then next week will be Epcot. But then I'm kind of done with Disney. I get to go through all my Universal Orlando videos. And shockingly, there was a lot of magic and awesomeness that happened at Universal Orlando. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. But yeah, I'm basically just plugging away through my really, really late October trip, because I'm headed to Disney here soon. So I got to clear out those videos so I can show you guys Christmas at Disney. So yeah. And I think we've already said our goodbyes. So I'm going to go ahead and say mine. So thanks everyone for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And mahalo for watching, guys. Nina out.